Yo, what's up? I'm gonna do this real quick. Let's run this back. Okay, fuck. Let me stop being cringe. Okay. Anyways, I just saw this post and I wanted to complain about it because I literally just saw it in 2 seconds ago. So let me be reactionary very quickly. Not because I have nothing to really say. I'm gonna make some shit up right now or something like that. But I'm reading this post here. I'm gonna read it out loud real quick. This update is amazing, but the community is toxic. Seriously, you guys need to chill out. The devs gave us this amazing ice update, and yet everyone is complaining. I mean, we're getting 3 free characters, and yet people are still mad and angry? Really shows the community is just toxic. Of course, you have to play the game in order to get the rewards. It ain't rocket science. They even give us the ability to buy ice spirits to make it easier for us to progress. Chill out, guys, please. And the devs deserve the money because of their incredible work. Obviously, a little bit of what is it? Liberty and flair from there. I could have probably done a better job. I'm not that. I could have been more condescending, but I'm gonna just be condescending right now. Either way, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm gonna just tell you this right now. This is the exact excuse. This is the exact excuse every single fucking person makes whenever a game does something bad. You know, B-Rat actually made a really good point in his recent video talking about Clash Royale and how the community will just forget everything else that's bad about the game and only focus on the one good thing. And that's, oh, they gave us something for free. Let me tell you something real quick. You know, something that sucks when it comes to a game, right? Any game in general. It's having to grind. And I know grind isn't too bad, right? Grind is not, there's nothing bad with grinding, right? But the fact that in reality, you need to spend a shit ton of gold just so you can get these ice spirits for a chance to unlock a new character? Seriously? Like, I understand some people wouldn't mind it, especially those who have, like, been saving up their gold or some shit, whatever, for whatever reason, even though you should most likely just spend it on chest tickets, right? If you have gold, just spend it on chest tickets. But this shit is stupid. I'm gonna just say it right now. This is so dumb. Why does it change whether or not you can buy with ice spirits? You can buy the ice spirits for gold. It doesn't change anything of the fact that you have to grind an absorbent amount just to be able to get all of the chests for free. And the thing is, you're not even guaranteed to get it. You know how many fucking ice spirits I've had to kill and how many chests I've gotten, and I still haven't gotten Dr. T? I'm at like 170 right now. 170 out. I am so close to finishing this fucking thing. And I'm gonna grind it out. But you know what? It is so fucking annoying that there's no easier way to do this thing. Because the only mode that consistently gives you good amounts of ice spirits is fucking the ice spirit mode. No other mode gives you that many consistently. You have to either get lucky or hope that people are killing the ice spirits so the ice spirits actually spawn in the final circle so you can get a shit ton of them. If that doesn't happen, you're not getting shit. Because they didn't there's a big problem with the mode where if you don't spawn the spirits in, they just get stuck. And because of how the game works, you can't go back into the vines to spawn the things so that you can kill them and then new ones can spawn in. Because the game doesn't keep spawning it. It doesn't consistently spawn it. You have to kill the spirits that are trapped inside before a new one can spawn in. So you see, the problem here is that the only way to do it is if you have a community that's actively just going around and killing the things. And even when you do it like that, that means that you're less likely to get more spirits for yourself. So basically, the problem is that there's no real way to consistently get a lot of these things. There's been some games where I haven't gotten any of them. There's been a lot of games where I just got 3 or 2. It's so inconsistent, and that's what I think is the problem here. Like, I don't care having to grind, but when the grind is this inconsistent, where one game I will get 30 ice spirits, and then the next I won't get any, like, seriously? How am I expected to grind this out when I'm not sure how many I'll even be able to get? There's like, as like this recent grind session that I've had has been the most that I've gotten. And that's because I've had so many games where I just got 30 plus ice spirit. Not 30 plus, but like 20 plus ice spirits. Just because I've gotten a lot of games like that. Not every single time. There was a day where I got almost no games with 20 plus ice spirits. Like, I only got like 5, 4, 3. It was annoying. It was obnoxious to have to do that. And especially because there's no real compensation for, like, everything, right? There's no real way to grind them besides hoping that you get that one mode where you can at least get like 10. Like, sometimes, right, if you get into a very competitive lobby, there's a chance that, you know, the other people will try to get the ice spirits, or they'll have strong enough squads where, you know, you can't get as many, but you could still get the most consistent amount of ice spirits in that one mode. But you know what? That mode itself is really hard to get. It is not very common. For some reason, they decided to make the mode where you could grind the spirits, the literal thing that you're supposed to do to get the chest. And they made it the most fucking rare mode to get. I've played so many games, and the amount of times I've seen that fucking ice world and just hot pot, gem hot pot, or $1 chest, which actually isn't that bad for helping you grind, because you can build up a pretty big squad, right, to go and hunt the ice spirits down. It's not that bad, but it's still like bad because you don't get to confirm that you're gonna kill ice spirits or any of that. In fact, the one thing that I want to complain about in regards to this update is, how come the ice world doesn't have more ice spirits in it? To me, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, the whole point of this is to be a sneak peek for the ice world. And then if you go into any ice world match, you will see that on average, you will probably get way less ice spirits in this one than other maps. In fact, the best map that I've seen that I've gotten the most, besides, you know, playing the ice spirit mode, is the Royal Arena. Because for some reason, the spawns are sometimes like really close by, and so you'll just get a bunch of ice spirits that clump up and you can just farm them easier. But for some reason, that doesn't apply to the ice world or any other world, for that matter of fact. It might even be a glitch, for all I know. Why the ice spirits spawn so much in that in some of the maps, right, as opposed to other ones. And while they'll clump up in certain places, and you can just get, like, you know, an infinite spawn of like a shit ton, and that's how you get 30 fucking ice spirits in a match. But if that doesn't happen, then you just get this drought where you have to go around, hope other people can kill the spirits before it's like 1 minute in, and hope that the spirits spawn somewhere towards the center, because if not, you're not getting any at the end of the game, because they're just not going to spawn in, because that's just how it works. And I don't know why it works this way, but it does. And you can't really do anything about it, because, you know, the way the vines work in this game is that once they become like dead, you can't fucking go in them, and you can even get trapped in there. I've gotten trapped trying to kill a spirit. You know, I got like one ice spirit, and then I fucking died because I got trapped, I think, which is, honestly, to be fair, that's pretty funny, honestly. But again, it's like, it's shit like this where the inconsistency starts to show itself in this mode. And I think that's something that they could have probably fixed. I don't know, maybe give a multiplier if you're in the ice world, like double spirits if you kill them there, right? Like, it just something to make the ice world different from the other worlds, to make the grind easier, and you know, to make it more exciting to even show up in the ice world. Because if not, I don't want to be showing up there if there's no ice spirit mode, because I know it's going to be a lot harder. The modifiers aren't necessarily always the best for, you know, going out and getting a bunch of armies and shit. There's better modifiers like Double Trouble or Fusion Star, or other ones like, I think Spell Overload is not too bad. But like the boost one too, because you can get a shit ton of boosts and just go around and hunt them. But if you don't get modifiers like that, especially in the ice world, the only real one that you could say is very helpful is the one coin chest, right? But it just depends on how you do it, right? If you get the 1 coin chest, then yeah, that one's okay. That one's okay for hunting them. But any other one is like even the golem meteors sometimes just gets in the way of things. Loot goblins are not bad too, but I feel like every single time I've had loot goblins, I've actually had less spirits that spawn, and I'm guessing it's because, you know, there's so many like enemies that even less spawn during that mode, and I'm guessing maybe even that applies to other modes where the more enemies that are on the field, the less likely that the spirits are to spawn in, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating, but it doesn't make sense why in certain maps you'll get a shit ton of them that'll just pile up, and other maps you won't get any. Like to me, that's still the most like obvious thing to complain about. And yeah. Anyways, I know I kind of I was just giving my opinions on this thing and what I think about this event, especially as someone who's almost finished grinding this entire event, but just by myself. You know what they did do good though? The piñata thing was good because I was actually able to grind to 1,500 just by myself, which I think should have been the case for this Ice Spirit event. I don't know why they didn't take a page from how the piñata event was and make it easier for everyone else to just do it by themselves, right? Or make it so that you could have people to add onto that so that it makes it easier for everyone. And then it's not just a single effort. Because to me, it's just way too much. And now I'm sure there are a couple of tryhards like myself, or maybe not. I'm not necessarily the biggest tryhard, but I'm just like somebody who wouldn't mind grinding a couple of hours, right? Because I don't spend too much time anywhere else. But there's probably a couple of people that, hey, this wasn't bad because they were able to grind it out. But for the casual player, I don't think that's the case. In fact, I think most people probably will end off at around maybe 70, 80, like around there, because past that point, you really just got to get into a groove where every single game, just hunt them down. Don't care about killing people, just hunt spirits. You got to be getting in parties, because if you're playing like just normally like without a party, you are more than likely going to be fighting people. You are more than likely going to have to worry about, you know, getting killed. You have to specifically get into a party just so that you can consistently go and hunt them out. Like, to me, that shouldn't have to be the case. Just for a casual player, they should be able to just jump into a game and be able to hunt them normally and efficiently without having to worry about, you know, all of this. And not to mention the inconsistencies that I've been bringing up with how many you'll get, right? It's just way too much that, in my opinion, really bogs down what is a cool event. I still think it's a cool event. Again, getting characters for free, I've always enjoyed that. I do like how, you know, you can keep grinding. It's not just like 1 or 2 chests, like, oh, you have a chance in these 1 or 2 chests to get the character, because I think that's cool. The fact that I can go and get myself some chests, you know, using something else other than portal energy, I think that's cool that I can grind something and by the end of it, I'll get rewarded for it, you know? I think that's cool. But again, there are these problems that I don't think people should just brush away and say, oh, the community's being toxic, because these are real complaints from real players. People just saying that you're not allowed to complain about something, it's just dumb. It's just stupid, because in my opinion, people should be allowed to express how they feel about something, express why exactly something isn't working, so that the developers can understand, hey, maybe next time let's make it a little easier for the people to make it. You know, this time we'll add like a modifier or something. Because honestly, I don't know if this person understands anything, but this game has made so much money. This game alone, not even from the update itself, just from the other practices that this game has, you know, put into practice, into play. That's precisely why they don't have to worry about money. But even still, I don't understand this complaint about saying they deserve the money. They deserve it for this update. When, like, sure, maybe they did a good job in making some of the things cool, but Why are so many of the practices in this game still so pay to win? Why are there so many predatory things in this game? Like the whole you get a free thing and then you have to fucking pay for all this other shit. That shouldn't be in the game. That straight up should not be in the game. You should not advertise something as free and then proceed to put in a bunch of little fucking paywalls and shit. It's predatory. It straight up is. And I don't want to hear any excuses of, well, actually they give you a free check. Like, no. You don't advertise this as being free if you're going to just put a bunch of like stuff that you have to pay for. It just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. And it's the same thing Brawl Stars has. It's the same problem that they have, right? I'm not going to say it's just limited to this. But to say that they deserve to get paid for a subpar execution on something that should be a cooler idea, something that people can honestly celebrate or should be able to celebrate with how enjoyable it is. Instead, we get this like very grind fist that feels a little bit annoying to do because you would want to have as many rewards as possible, but it's difficult when you simply you don't really have any control over it because you don't get to choose the mode. You don't get to choose how many spirits are going to spawn in. You don't get to choose whether or not the map is going to benefit you. There's so many factors at play that I feel like could have been fixed for this mode. There could have been a lot of things that could have been changed to improve this mode, and simply saying that the developers deserve it because they made one update that you think is cool and you think the fact that you get free stuff is cool, that doesn't change the fact that the execution is poor and the fact that a lot of the things in this game are still pay to win. There's still a lot of things in this game that are pay to win. And I don't want to bring this into this whole discussion because that's another problem in and of itself. But to say that, hey, this one thing they did is cool because they're giving you free shit when the game itself has stuff like keys, it has other shit, all this other shit that, in my opinion, is a bigger problem that's still in the game. It doesn't matter if they give you free shit if there's still pay to win mechanics like the keys and shit. It's just stupid. Again, just admit it's not that hard to just admit, hey, they might have given us free stuff, but this game still has problems. This game still has flaws. Don't call the community toxic for bringing up the fact that this game has very bad practices in its monetization. Don't say the community is bad when they obviously state that there's a problem with the product. The problem is that it's poorly executed. Again, I brought up many points and I would hope that you can rebuttal them, but there's no way to honestly, in my opinion, I don't see how you could rebuttal them without just basically proving my point that this is not that well executed. Again, it's just dumb, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I know I was very abrasive and very rude in that sense, but that's just how I felt. I feel that way about these people that just say, oh, it's okay because we get free stuff. No, it's not okay. Tell them that it's not okay so that they know, hey, we don't like this, or hey, you can improve from this. Whether or not they change it, that's up to them. Whether or not the community is toxic because of it, that's not up to you to decide. I'm just going to say it like this. If you don't like the community, why even interact with it? Why complain about it? If the whole point of this is that, oh, the community is so toxic, like, why should you care what they say? And why are you even going and saying, oh, it's okay, developers, pat on the back. You guys made like, I think $6 million, but you guys deserve to get paid. Like, don't listen to these people. Like, oh, you're giving free shit. Like, oh, you guys totally deserve it. Like, no, I don't want to hear any of this because they make more than enough revenue. This is barely any compensation. Think about how much it takes to make it to level 4, by the way, to Ultra. That takes a lot of fucking time. That would take a lot of effort just to make it to that. And you know what? They already have plans for other things to be added into the game to increase progression. Right? The game itself, as it is right now, has a lot of problems. Just because they make one event like this doesn't change that. And I don't think you should call the community toxic for stating a fact. And that's all. That's how I'm going to leave it at for here. I just spent a lot of time complaining about the same exact thing. I hope you can understand my points about this, that Squad Busters has problems, and I hope that you can understand that, hey, maybe it's not the community's fault. Maybe it's the developers' fault for poorly implementing an event that they had planned for the game. Obviously, maybe there is a little bit of toxicity, even coming from me, right? A little bit of toxicity where it's like, oh, don't do this, don't say that. At the end of the day, that's up to you to decide. That's up to you to decide whether or not the developers are doing a good job and deserve the backlash that they're receiving right now, right? For me, I think it's deserved because I think that they implemented it poorly. And again, there's still things in the game that you could say are pay to win, and they still haven't removed them. So, to me, they didn't really change too much in this update. Sure, they did change certain things about the keys, but that's still not enough. I still see people pull out a fusion and just fucking win. I still people see pulling out megas and winning. The whole reroll mechanic is still fucked. Again, all of these small things that they still didn't change. So that's all I'm going to say for this. Yeah, goodbye.